Right, this is a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, I think I've made not a boo-boo. It's sad to say. Front door irons are completely gone. Quite severe. One side's up to the back of the front hinge. This side is the worst. Yeah, okay, it needs a side and a foot, and it needs some internal work. The doors, as you can see, are not closing simply because the back's broken on the chassis, I think. The door tops are completely out of the tree. They've totally gone. I mean, they are totally gone. The doors themselves sound, because the chassis is gone at the back as well. So I think the chassis and the front are lifting, which is not allowing the doors to actually close. So, oh sorry, really quite in a bad way there. This piece has broke off here. The front crash panel as well is gone. This bottom crash panel is gone. Plastic's okay, and the footwell's actually not too bad considering. I've seen a lot worse. Very muddy. That's mud. Sides are okay. Both sides are okay. Tunnel. Seat box perfect. Doors. Bottoms are gone on the doors, but generally speaking they're outside good. As you can see there, it just doesn't want to meet, and that is simply because it has oops a daisy. The back, totally shot the back is, at least 2 foot inside. The chassis totally fucked inside the totally broken inside the chassis. So it needed a little quarterback chassis. So there you have it. This side's pretty good. Once again, needs front dumb irons and the back chassis. It's got a crease just down the one side there, which isn't too bad. But there you have it. Stage 1 V8, and inside, oops, the mechanisms here, and I don't know what that is there, and then gear knob, as you can see. Top dash is fine. There you go, that's about all. Top window's gone, totally gone, that top window. Cheers. Oops, morning all. That's the rear, I think they call it the rear quarter chassis from Ribble 4x4. Excellent service, not a bad looking chassis, with sleeves on the end to slip over. There's a couple of the old wheels and tyres, well past the sell by date, as you can see. But hopefully I have somebody on the internet who has got the set. This is a bit more of a close-up run of the stage 1. Very badly corroded, but this is the rear chassis cross member, which will be coming off, as you say, which is all going to be replaced. Just took the wheels off at the moment, and I can tell you the back section when I get it off and expose it. I've just got a cut about here with reciprocating, and I'm taking the axles out, springs, whatever. I'm going to refurb the springs. I've got some new wheel cylinders because the brake pipes are all gone. Brake pipes and cylinders need rechanging after standing for so many years. And then I've got to work gradually up the chassis. I've just ordered a stick welder, and I've got some 2.5 sticks. I have a welder on the case, hopefully. So hopefully to get this back end done within a week to 10 days, and then gradually work forward. Disappointed in this crease, but I didn't do that. I might put new doors on yet, I don't know. I have located a pair for 100 and something, but hey, I'm trying to keep this cost down. I've got a new cap to put on. I've got the new section to put on the back that's ripped off. So basically, take this rear cross member off and the chassis, and I'll keep you informed. Anyway, cheers folks. Right, early days. You can see most of the stuff on the floor. bit tight to work around. Springs have been taken off. The axle's just floating on a couple of axle stands. There's a little bit of movement there. Anyway, there's 2 springs. Don't look very promising, but as I said before, I'll strip them down, clean them up, see how they go. For half a day to do that, rather than spend money on a new one at the moment. I'll change all the bushes, change the bushes and the bolts and the new shackles because they're rusted. And then at least then if I want to change them, I just shouldn't be much of a problem to whip the old bolts out and put some new springs on. Anyway, time for lunch. Cheers. Right, that's the axle out. Got it on a bench. Bit of a struggle on your own, but as long as you use levers, lift, whatever. So springs are down there. I've marked the near side one because I think they are handed still. So axle's out. I've just got to square it up on that table, put 2 blocks underneath, so I can put the drums off and start on the brakes and cylinders, etc. Still looking a bit sorry for itself. Hard work. So the springs are off, axle's out. Cut the exhaust off. The exhaust is about knackered. Just got to get the petrol tank out now, which is the next job. And as you can see, there's still little marks and bits and bobs. Got a new welder coming, and I've just got some new sticks, nice ones. So I'll cut the chassis there. So one chassis is cut. So I'm just going to cut these here and see how we go from there. This side's quite bad again. I don't know if I showed you this, but as you can see, there's not much there. But generally speaking, it looks terribly rusty. But hopefully, I can overcome that, clean it, sort and paint it. Cheers. Well, just thought I'd film this bit, although you can't film it at the time. A little bit of tension on the wires because I couldn't feed them through, but now I can. But they'll all be checked anyway, and if I need to, I'll splice those in. Cut the chassis here. I've still got to get this whole section chassis out here with the petrol tank. I'll cut the petrol tank. There's not a chance on this earth I could undo them bolts, and I've just ordered a new petrol tank anyway. It's been standing for so long, and to be honest, it isn't worth trying to fit one after the event. I got mine from Paddocks, I think, with all the fixtures, fittings, you name it, the pipe work, centre gauge, 150 quid. It isn't worth the aggravation of trying to fit or correct a petrol tank that's been standing for so many years. You don't know what sediment's in the bottom. I couldn't undo those bolts. I tried, forget it. So I'll plus gas them all. But there you see, if I'd have done this differently, I'd have cut the chassis first and then nipped the back ones off where they held onto the back frame. And people might ask, why am I doing this without taking the body off? Well, I want to slip the frame over, the chassis over, and see if it'll locate all up first. Even though it'll sit on these runners and it's fairly straight, I want to be able to see it sit on here, tack it on here, and then remove the body, knowing that then when I come to put the body back on, the chassis quarter section will be right. I've got to trim these a bit to get the right amount. Puffing and panting, but I've just been cutting. Okay, so that's a little bit of a understanding of what I'm doing. But really, I suppose I should have cut the chassis first. Just put a stick or something to hold it. Cut the petrol pipe, the petrol tank, and then cut the back sections, and then just dropped it out. It's rotten as a pear. I'll come back to you in a bit and show you how it is. Cheers, folks. Right, that's the wiring salvaged as such, as you can see. There's a debris, and this is where I've dragged it. And as you can see, there's not much left of that. This is how it is. Let's not touch that. It's held on by fresh air, and then it's bright. Just drop me a camera. There's nothing left of that chassis, that side. The petrol tank, it might have been salvageable, but no. As you can see, have a good look at that. That is just it's not repairable. There you go. That's a better look. Not standing in the way. So you can see why quarter chassis is the thing to go for. And don't ask me why. It's only an inch or so over there, and it's okay, but it will be all checked and plated if it needs to be. There you go, folks. Cheers. One mask, completely sooted up, so always make sure you wear a mask. It's not going to be brilliant, but it's something. Oh, the day is long. It's coming to the end of my day. Don't want to do too much. I've got to sweep up. I have just literally spotted a bit down here and a little bit underneath to do. The rest of it doesn't look too bad. It's superficial where the paint's coming off. There's a good bit of chassis there. Let me just clock you around the other side. Ooh. There's the chassis and the strengthener. I've just tidied a little bit up underneath. There's the other strengthener and the wires. I've got to pull the wires through. Oh. That's a bit there. And as you say, I've just literally just whizzed over the chassis, took a few loose bits and pieces off. This one's not too bad, this side. I've just got to disconnect the wire at the front and pull through. And the reason, like I said, I'm doing it this way is I want to line the chassis up first with the body, then just take the top of the body off, clean the chassis, and then spray. Cheers. And that is the chassis outside. Well, if that's it. Petrol tank could have been salvaged, I think, but to be honest, no. 20 plus years standing still, no, it isn't worth it. Anyway, there you go. One chassis screwed. Cheers.